Shalom Aleichem, and welcome back, friends and listeners. This week we're going to talk about Purim, Katan, and its lesson for us. So, we just celebrated Purim Katan, and Shushan Purim Katan, and the question arises as to whether or not we should do anything as far as increasing our food intake on Purim Katan to commemorate the real Purim. And the Rama cites two opinions, and he recommends the view that suggests that we should actually increase our eating on Purim Katan. And he concludes with a quote from a pasuk in Mishlei: "V'toiv leiv mishter tamid." A good-hearted person is always feasting, always happy. So what is the meaning of this pasuk in Mishlei? Obviously, we're not talking about eating and partying a whole day. We're referring to being happy. How can one be happy the whole time? So the Gemara says the Toiv Lev refers to somebody who has a broad mind. Daite Rechava. Rashi on the pasuk says that pasuk means that this person is happy with his lot. Sameach Mechalkai. So we see from here that a broad-minded individual will always be happy, irrespective of his situation. Sameach Mechalkai. How do we explain broad-mindedness? So there are two explanations. The first one is a little daunting, but that's what it says. It's a fact which is discussed already in Chavis Al-Vavis and other Sfarim, that one needs to be honest and evaluate his spiritual state before he makes demands of Hashem for material luxuries. And definitely shouldn't have complaints when he knows he's not fully perfect in the spiritual sense. When somebody's not fully ready in the spiritual sense and is putting their mind excessively into trying to get materialism, which is not something that he really needs, then it could chas v'shalom sometimes cause that he even loses some of his more basic needs. And this is explained with a mashal, a parable, that if somebody wears clothing that are too long on him, then it can cause the person to trip. So regular sized clothes will enhance a person's beauty, but if they're too big, too long, then it can cause a person to trip, and he won't be ahead of the game. He'll be falling behind. Another meaning of being broad-minded, from a Torah view, is that one should value and put their focus on ruchnius, on spiritual affairs, because gashmius is by definition limited, and ruchnius, spirituality, is beyond limitation. One should only consider material matters as far as its connection to Torah and mitzvahs. And this second approach, second definition of being broad-minded, is going to be our attitude in the Geula Hasidah when Mashiach comes. We won't be lacking materialism. Madanim matzuyim kafir, there will be delicacies which will be plentiful, as there is dust, as plentiful as dust. Yet, people will not indulge in luxuries. They will be able to subsist on little, and there will be a bracha with the little that they're taking for themselves. Their main occupation will be with the studying of Torah, fulfilling mitzvahs, and understanding Hashem according to the ability of our understanding. When one follows this approach, then Hashem will definitely fulfill his needs, even if he occasionally slips and has desires he shouldn't have. But nevertheless, Hashem will fulfill his needs, and he will be in a constant state of happiness. With this, the Rebbe explains that which it says in the Piyut, that Merubim tzarkei amcha v'daitam k'tzara. The needs of your nation are many, but their mind is narrow, which means that Hashem should grant us our requests even when our mind is narrow. But we can also explain that it means that why do we have so many needs? Why do we think we need to have this and that? Because our mind is narrow. If our mind will be more broad, we will realize that we don't need to have everything which we see. In Tafshin Beis, the Rebbe took a little different approach, and that is, the Rebbe suggests that really every Yid is shaykh to Zahav, to gold. Gold represents the level of Yidden as they are in a higher state, as it stands for the word Zeha Nois and Bari, want to give tzedakah when they're healthy, not waiting to Chas V'Shalom get sick, healthy begashmis and bruchnis. And the Rebbe goes on to recommend we should increase our wealth in Torah mitzvahs, and also begashmis, to do what one can to become wealthier, so that one will be able to keep Torah mitzvahs in a relaxed state, to do mitzvahs behiddur, in a beautiful manner, to have money to give tzedakah barachava, to make one's home a mishkan for Hashem, to give tzedakah, to make a shul, which is a mishkan, a beis medrash, and most important, to have money and be mishtatif, to join all the Yidden who will be involved in Mitzvah Hashem with the building of the third Beis HaMikdash. Yevhei Ravi Amen. Amen. Kol Tov, all the best.